Hi everyone. So for today's video, we're going to rush through material or product master data in planning like a tornado because there is a lot of master data going on and we are quite short in time. So let's start. Um, Material master data represents properties of raw materials, process materials, semi-finished products, components, finished goods, and so on. For example, a finished case, which is going to be sold, is a material. The component, which is a pack of cigarettes, also material, and tobacco leaf, which is going to be dried, roasted, and put into cigarettes, is also a material itself. Hope that's a clear point. Also, as I mentioned in the previous video, we call material master data the data which is available in MM03 in P40. And we call a product master data the data in M81 transaction in PPTS, which is also inside the P40 system. So that's not really the same. Moving forward. So you probably all know T codes MM01, 02, and 03 for material maintenance and display. But there are also T codes used by planners and factory guys, like F2S guys. First one is called ZMView, which is used for material extension. For example, you have material data maintained for Poland factory PLP2, but you need also to maintain it for another factory like CHP1 because you start producing the same material on another factory starting from next month. So you, in order to save time and like make it as easy and automatic as possible, we use ZMView T code to extend the material data for another location. So we will not cover like how this should be exactly used, but you just need to know that this T code is used for material extension. Also, there is a T code ZPP MAT, which is a material master report used for verification of material data. But I can say that we don't receive actually a lot of tickets for this T code. And so this is not related to master data itself. It's only some report for data verification. So we will not cover that in scope of this training as well. And I already showed you T code SAP APO MAT1 as master data counterpart on the side of PPDS. So moving forward, good question, who maintains what? So here you can see the screenshot from material master. You know, when you enter material ID or product ID in MM03, then you press enter and you will be asked which tab do you want to display. And you need to know that only first three tabs, basic data 1, 2, and classification, are initially maintained for material created by GPS R&D. So for those of you who don't support F2S, GPS R&D is so GPS R&D stands for Global Product Specification, Research and Development. So that's a team which is responsible for creation and maintenance of new products in SAP. So when, for example, a new brand new type of cigarettes is introduced. First of all, like marketing department should invent this product, should introduce it to focus group, review it, and so on. But when it is already decided to implement this material, the master data in SAP is initially created by GPS R&D team. Then sales steps required for O2C process are maintained by sales team, a local sales team. Then these three tabs are important for purchasing activities. You already know them from P2P process, I'm sure. Then, well, let's discuss all other tabs for now. So there are pure F2S tabs regarding some storage properties and quality management process. They're managed by inventory team. Then there are accounting and costing tabs, which are really, really crucial for finance. So like product costing and so on. Then we have plant stock and storage location stocks. So again, these are tabs pure F2S maintained by inventory management. And then what we got left are the tabs which are important for planning process and for F2S as well. So for manufacturing and planning, not for storing materials, right? And those are MRP 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs, work scheduling tab, and a new one, which was introduced a year ago in spring 2021, advanced planning tab. So these tabs are maintained by F2S factory planners. So local planners on every specific factory is responsible, local planners are responsible for maintaining those tabs. All right, so let's start. Well, just real quick. So when a new material is created, guys from GPS R&D team, for example, they need to select industry sector, like is it a production material or is it related to leaf or it's other material. So only 3 industry sectors. Then they need to choose material type, one of, I guess, 20 material types, like cigarettes, packaging, filters, casing, raw tobacco, and so on. And then based on the combination of industry sector and material type, they have a selection of material groups. So I'm not sure if it's mentioned. Not sure if it's mentioned there, but I guess we have about 20 material types, as I said, and about 200 or even more than 200 material groups. And so material group is the least category. Then we already have like individual separate materials. So for basic data, you should know this information from P2P training at least. But just to remind you that if we enter the basic data or any other tab of material, if we press on this information icon, we will see the basic information for material, like the category, is it SKU, so finished goods, is it semi-finished goods, SFG, or is it a leaf or NTM, non-tobacco material, so you will see the material category. But a real useful hint, which will also be useful for P2P process. If material number starts with 14, 10, you should know that this is definitely a production material, not a marketing material, not spare parts or something else. It is a production material, and it will be either SKU or semi-finished goods or leaf. So it will be a purely production material used for production or a finished goods. So in this case, that's a cigarette. So let's just real quick open some example material. So we go to MM03 and I start to run, and I need to find some. Okay, so this is also a cigarette. So it's SKR, but the material type is SKU cigarette. So that's a production material. Yeah, so going back to presentation. Yeah, what is important for the tab basic data 2? First of all, this tick field batch management. What does it mean? Well, it's important for both planning and F2S processes. It means that material is managed in batches. Sounds quite obvious, right? But what does it mean for us in turn? So what is batch? Batch is actually some amount of material, or like not amount, but some number, or I guess some amount of material which was produced by the same machines, following the same procedure, using the same components, and more or less in the same period of time. So, like imagine you are on a factory, you start your shift, you turn on all the manufacturing process, you have your like stock of components, and what you receive in the end of your shift is some batch of finished goods. And why is batch management important? Because we assume that all individual cigarette in the batch, which can be like 1,000 of cases of cigarettes, every single cigarette is similar to the other one. So they are all the same. We assume that all the properties are just the same. So that's what batch management is. Also, we have some information on shelf life data. So shelf life 360 days means that our production, our cigarette is good to be smoked within a year after it was produced. Okay, then classification. You should know this from P2P as well. So how do we go to classification tab? Right here, then we click this green tick. And here you go to the classification tab, and here you can see some physical info or some other interesting information about the material or product. So what's the family, Bleu de Paix, brand blonde, pack type. Okay, SKR category, roll your own. Oh, I understand. That's why it is SKR. So roll your own is like a package of tobacco to make your own cigarettes, right? They are called roll your owns. So somebody prefers them to pre-made cigarettes, for example. And here you have some physical characteristics. If you will check material for cigarette, you will see like length of cigarette, width of cigarette, weight, and so on. But here you can see only weight, like grams per like a small pack, grams per a bigger pack, grams per the whole case, like 6 kilograms of tobacco. and so on. So all the physical information is stored in the classification tab, sorry. Then I guess we are moving to AMRP tabs. And in order to display them, first of all, you need to choose your location or plant. For example, I am choosing the plant PLP2. All right, so let's move back to presentation. Yes, AMRP1 view. I suggest to stick really with presentation because there are descriptions here written and the screenshots are just the same as if we were checking everything here in the system. Okay, so AMRP1 view. What useful information do we have here? I guess one of the most important fields ever for planning, for F2S, even for purchasing and sales, like for every logistics process, is plant-specific material status. So initially, it is defined by R&D, who create material to restrict the usability for specific plant. So probably makes no sense, but what does it mean? I have a file opened, which I'm going to show you. Maybe it is not so convenient because the table is cut down, but we don't need this part of table anyway. So what material statuses do we have? All the codes are number codes like material status 01, 02, 03, 04, 5, 6, and those are 6 main material statuses used in JTI for production materials. So when the material is in status 01, it means it is only in creation process. So it was created in SAP. You can check the data using MM03, but this material is not yet used anywhere. Like it is like a draft material. If the status is 02, it means that material was approved by R&D. And it means that we can even purchase this material, but we are not able to produce it or to store it. Really, we can just purchase it, but we will receive a warning message. So there are some constraints. Then the most desirable and most easy to work with type is current. You see, everything is free here. So we can purchase material, we can maintain routing, we can produce this material, so we can manufacture it, we can keep it in our warehouses, use it for future forecasting. So everything is allowed with type 03. Shouldn't be no issues. 04 is called use up. What does it mean? It means that you see, we are able to purchase material with a warning. We are able to produce the material, but we are still able to produce the material for for the current cycle, for example, for a month or for 2 months if we already have production orders. If we already have production orders scheduled in the system, we are able to produce this material until some time. But we are already not able to forecast this material. It means that if we didn't have a production order scheduled when material was put in status use up, then we will not receive any further demands. So the planning of production of this material stopped. Then we have status 05, production finished. And we also can buy such material in this status. We can, but we cannot really produce it. You see, well, production order, I'm not sure. Yeah, sorry, if material is used in production order, I'm not sure what is network item, sorry, but generally with production finished, you cannot create a production order at all. So you cannot process the production order, so it will be an error type. So you can only like purchase this material or sell it, so get rid of it, and that's all. And the last type, which is widely used, is called obsolete. So quite self-speaking name. So you see almost every action will cause an error. So you cannot plan this material, cannot purchase it. It's just retired, let's say. Moving back to presentation. So this is a very, very important field, and a lot of issues with documents are related to this status being in some wrong position. So for example, there is some error, you cannot create purchase requisition, you cannot convert planned order to production order, and so on. Always check the plant specific material status. Then MRP type, next important field. It is a key that determines how material is planned. So quite a complicated indicator, but what you should know that X1, X0 is a good MRP type. It is used for domestic goods. What does it mean, domestic goods? It means that we produce some product and we sell it within our country, right? So we produce some cigarettes in Russia and we sell them in Russia. So that's what's called domestic goods. And yeah, that's a convenient type. Then also good types are Z1, Z2, and Z4. They are used for export, so which means that we are manufacturing material, for example, in Russia, but we are selling the material to another market, to another country, for example, to Turkey. Okay. And all of them are used for export, but they slightly differ. Well, M2S means make to stock. Well, I don't really want to go deep into explanation. So M2S means make to stock and MTO means make to order. So these are different settings and they determine like how do production orders consume sales orders. So for example, we have a sales order scheduled that in 10 days we need to sell 10 cases of the product. So when we plan production with make to order setting, for example, we can only plan production for these 10 cases. So we need to have one production order for a specific sales order. So we are like neutralizing it, right? So you have a requirement that you need to sell, then you have production order, which you will produce, and they should be neutralizing each other to go away altogether. Sorry. When we have make to stock settings, it is more flexible. Like we can produce more than is required for a sales order. So we can cover the sales order and also we can keep something else to our stock. Well, that's really approximate explanation, but all these types are allowing us PPDS planning, and are also synchronized with ABP. So there is a specific type ZN, which is used only for non-SAP locations, but that's really a rare case, and so on. So that's all for this part. Yeah, then planning time fence here, this indicator. Let's check our material. So we have AMRP1. So for this, for example, plan-specific material status is not current, but production finished. So we will not be able to produce this SKU, right? Also, the type is Z1, APO replenishment, which is okay. And then planning time fence is 40. So it's 40 days. And what does it mean? It is a period in which no automatic changes are to be made to the master plan. So it means that like 40 days starting from today, we take this period, and even if we rerun those automatic scripts which place the production orders in the system and purchase orders, these automatic scripts, heuristics, they will not affect documents in this period of 40 days, because it is like fixed in the system. It is too short-term planning, and it shouldn't be messed up every time we run the script. So for documents within this period, we can only adjust them manually. And MRP controller, well, this quite also a complicated field. I don't get it completely myself, but what I understood that it is used for reporting purposes. It is like a tag. So we don't really like, it is just a text field. It doesn't really affect anything. It is just to label some materials with some specific tag to use it for reporting and statistics afterwards. So that's all. And it is also integrated with ABP. Moving forward, lot sizing procedure is located in AMRP view. Let's check our material. Same lot sizing procedure, MC, monthly lot size. So it determines how the lot size will be calculated. So which means what quantities are we really able to produce of some specific material. That's why we have minimum lot size and maximum lot size and rounding. So here you can see the settings are quite flexible. The material is managed in kilo units, and we can produce even like 1 kilo unit or half of kilo unit. And maximum we can produce 100,000 kilo units in one lot. And we have zero rounding, which means that we can choose any value between the minimum lot size and maximum lot size. If we have some rounding like 5 kilo units, then if we will decide to produce 7 kilo units, we will actually need to produce 10, because 5 is rounding, so it will round to the next available value. So that's for your understanding. Okay, moving to the next step, AMRP2 view. Here, an extremely important field is procurement type. Procurement type, there are actually just two of them. Type E means that material is produced in-house. So it means that we are actually making that product on that factory. So Poland factory PLP2 produces this roll your own tobacco type. Or it can be F, which means that we don't produce this material, we only can purchase it from another factory or another plant, like warehouse, transit plant, so on. So in this case, we produce this material, but for example, if procurement type is F, which means that we can only buy it from somewhere else, then there is also field special procurement type, which can define from which specific plant do we want to buy this material, like do we usually buy. So usually if procurement type is F, there is also a special procurement key maintained. Like we specify that we buy this material from Uzbekistan factory, or we buy it from Belarusian factory, or from German factory, and so on. So usually it is specified in the system. Then we also have planned delivery time. It is just number of days which is required to obtain the procured material. So if we create like a purchase order and we create a goods receipt, then in approximately 21 days, we will receive this material to our plant and we'll have it on our stock, right? Moving forward, we have such fields as safety stock, which defines the minimum amount of material which can be held in our warehouse. So in this case, on the screenshot, the safety stock is 0, which means that we can completely run off of this material, and this is okay. But if you see that the safety stock is maintained at some value, it means that we cannot go below this value. So it is like, you know, like for those hard days, like we just keep some of the material on stock just to make sure that we can always continue production, or we can always sell a little bit more if it's required. So let's check our material. Yes, the safety stock is also 0, which means we can completely sell or transfer our stocks to somewhere else. Moving to the next tab, AMOR-P3. Here I would say the most important fields are period indicator. Usually it is set as M, monthly, but let's check for our material. Yes, it's also monthly, but it can be set as weekly, daily, and like yearly, like fiscal year period. So usually it is always monthly. Yeah, also very important field, strategy group. So it is also related to this types of planning, make to stock or make to order. So strategy group 10 is used for domestic goods, domestic SKUs. And strategy group 40 is used for export SKUs. So you can check, for example, in some incidents, when you see that, when you see, for example, a purchase requisition or purchase order, when materials should be transferred from one market to another, then strategy group 10 will be incorrect and may cause some errors in the system. So yeah, This strategy group is not used for materials produced in-house. Then, yeah, consumption modes. Yeah, so the consumption mode should be set as 5. Yeah, in our material it's also 5. Oh, sorry. As a global decision, it was decided to set consumption mode to 5, period specific consumption, and use strategic group 40. So it is like a default setting for export materials, and consumption group should be always 5. Then, yeah, we have also the field availability check, which specifies whether and how the system checks availability and generates requirements for material planning. For example, is there enough stock available in the warehouse? Or is the quantity available for components in the planned orders, well, sufficient to produce the planned order on time? So I know that some incidents are related to issues with availability check, but it's actually quite hard to say what does it means exactly. Let's try to check some KBs real quick on the availability check. Oh, let's open a new tab. Okay, that's for sales. But for example, for sales process, when business users are trying to create sales order, they can receive an error message, which can be related to availability check. Should be Z1. For the PLN process, let me find. Oh, okay, unable to release production order. Well, the production orders are somewhere between of F2S and PLN, depending on the situation. Yeah, so you see there is a message that availability check cannot be executed. There is no control data. And so here the issue is not really related to availability check. Well, yeah, just you can check again the explanation here in the presentation, but that's not completely clear for me. How do various types of availability check affect the planning process? Yeah, then for last of MRP tabs, MRP4 view, we have field individual call. I am not sure what does it mean really. Then we have field component scrap, and it means that in order to produce this SKU, some percent of its components will go to waste. So they will be just utilized. In this case, scrap is 0. So that's actually good that no components are wasted during the production process. For example, in our case, component scrap for this roll your own tobacco is 0.25%. So this amount of components will be lost, and you will probably see it as well in the production order. Okay, moving forward. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so now we are moving to next tab called work scheduling. Here you can see the base unit of measure and the production unit. So let's check it in our case. So you probably know that in P2P, in purchasing, we also have like base unit of measure, for example, kilograms, but we also can have a purchasing unit. Let me show it. Oh, no, not purchasing unit, but order unit, which can be different, which means that the base unit of measure is kilogram. But if we create a purchase requisition or purchase order, it can be created in another unit of measure and will be created by default. So the same logic applies in this case. The base unit is also kilogram, but if we had some production unit maintained, it means that if we create production order for the material, unit of measure will be production unit 1, like kilo units, for example, or cases, or I don't know, pallets, anything. So also we have production scheduling profile. This is quite a complicated field. Different settings can be set there, which define what sequence of steps is triggered together with production order. So the production order can be created and completed on its own, and all the follow-up documents will be created manually. But for example, you can set some like widely used production schedule profiles, and the system will trigger additional documents upon finishing the production order. So it can trigger automatic goods receipt or automatic printout of shop floor papers and so on. So let's check it for our material. It is ZSKR. So there are really quite a lot of production scheduling profiles. Well, for the incident, this field is not so really important. And you should also check that overall profile all the time should be set as ZJTI01, because it is overall profile like approved and accepted by our company, JTI. Then moving to the rather fresh new tab, which was introduced only in end of March last year, 2021. Yes, it's called Advanced Planning View. So what does it mean? The most important field here is this one, the checkbox for advanced planning. When this field is checked, it means that product is available for planning. So it is synchronized with PDS. It is synchronized with IBP. So without this field being ticked, the product or material will only stay for will only stay in S4. It will be not available for planning. It will be available for purchasing, for selling, for producing, but not for planning. So for PLN tickets, like no process related to PLN can be executed until this field is ticked. Sometimes when material data is not synchronized between S4 and IBP, sometimes what helps is unticking this field, saving the material data, then ticking this field again, saving again, and the data is data push is retriggered. So yes, yeah, material master data will be integrated online with PPDS and so on. Yeah, and then like last thing, other fields which you can see here in advanced planning tab are duplicated, so you can find them in other tabs like MRP tabs. They are not unique here. And finally, so which values are actually synchronized with IBP at all? So these are MRP types, MRP controller used for reporting mainly, minimum maximum lot size, rounding value, procurement type, if the material is produced in-house or procured externally, planned delivery time, special procurement, and safety stock and scrap. So all other fields are not so important for demand and supply periods of planning process. So they are not integrated to IBP, they only stay in SAP. And that's all for material master data. Hope I was fast enough. So thank you for listening, and goodbye for now.